guys. So let me tell you about the first time I slept with a stranger. I've always been kind of reserved and quiet, but so I decided to join a robotics team to kind of break out of my shell. And in this robotics team, I met this girl. And she has blonde hair and blue eyes, and so I never really talked to this girl. I only knew what her name was, and she never really talked to me either because we were both on different sub-teams, so we only talked to each other when we had to pass along information. And so I only knew her name was Stella. She was on the mechanical sub-team, and that she seemed to hate me. I thought that she hated me because she would look at me like, that's just the way she is. I mean, like, but she's a cool person. And so I joined the robotics team. On my first year, we decided to go to Baltimore. And I've never been away from home by myself, out of state, and it was a whole new experience for me. And it was just one step of becoming independent, and so I was really scared of that too, because I'm always tied to my family. So my mom kind of pushed me to go, she was like, you have to do this. And so we got on a plane and we were off to Baltimore. And so we got to Baltimore, and it was the sky was cloudy, and it was different temperature. There weren't any people speaking Spanish in the streets. I couldn't hear Tejano music. It was so weird. I just felt out of place. So we drive to this house that we rented, and it's a yellow house. It's a two-story house, and it was kind of creepy because there were little stairways that led to nowhere because they were boarded off at the top. So it was where does this staircase go? And so we were like, okay, whatever. And then we walk along the hallway and we see a door that's locked, and we try to open it and it won't open. So at this point I'm kind of is there a dead body somewhere in here or something? And so the whole team's kind of freaked out, but it's a fun kind of freaked out, ooh, haunted house. And so the girls, we got to stay in the upstairs section of the house where the rooms were nicer. And so then the most important time came, guys. It was time to choose roommates. And I didn't know all the girls on the team. I didn't know what they were like. So me and Stella got kind of, they were the two new members, so you guys share beds. And we were like, okay. So we just went through the whole day. We went sightseeing, we ate dinner, and we were pretty tired by the end of the day. So we come home, and I showered, changed into my pajamas, and there were two beds in the room. So there was a bed here, and a nightstand. And Kelly and Laura, who were other two team members, were sharing this bed, and they were completely fine with it. I mean, they were laying down and oh, we're best friends, hug, everything's fine. And then our bed was kind of this in the corner, so there was one spot where you could just slide into bed, and then the other one you had to crawl into bed. So I decided to take the least awkward spot and just slide in. And so I'm laying down on the bed, and I'm getting ready to go to bed and falling asleep, and then Stella comes in and she's all ready for bed too. And so I'm laying down with the covers up to my chin, watching Stella just crawl into bed. And it's just the most awkward thing, she's just crawling so hesitantly. And we keep making this awkward eye contact. And I'm trying not to stare at her because it's awkward. And her face is all red, it's just so awkward. And so she finally gets under the covers, and we just lay down so stiff next to each other. We're just okay. And so then after a while I'm just this is so awkward. So I just roll out of bed and I'm this is awkward. And then Kelly and Laura were no, it's fine, just go to sleep, everything's cool. And I'm I don't know this person. So I decided that in order to make a barrier, I should sleep on top of the sheet and then under the comforter, and Stella just sleeps under the sheet. So now we have this barrier that will keep everything less awkward. And so I made a friend after that. This was the icebreaker. After that, me and Stella were oh, how's it going? How's life? We were just cool with each other. And actually thinking about this, I'm actually going to go off to college. I'm going to be away from my parents, away from my home, and I'm going to share rooms with a person who I talked to, but I've never really let into my personal space. And it's going to be a weird experience, but I'm not really scared. I'm more excited to see if I'll break that icy boundary and make a new friend, or if I'll, just not like this person.